Should I refinance or not? That's the question I get asked a lot, and I wanted to do a quick video here. Hi, my name is Jeremiah Claramunt with Nebo Lending. If you like this video, you want more content, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe at the bottom below. And right now, let's go ahead and get started. I'm showing you right now pre-pandemic. You can see the personal savings rates were almost 10%, and credit cards, they were actually already on the rise, right? Then you had the shutdown, the huge shutdown. So what happened? Well, people started paying off their credit cards. Then they got stimulus 2, stimulus 3, right? And as quick as they got that money was gone. It was spent. So once that party was over, the free money was gone, what did people do? Well, they drained their savings accounts. And they had savings rates were way lower than they were pre-pandemic. Less than 5% now as opposed to pre-pandemic. So even though they drained their savings, right, the savings rate's much lower, well, you can look, credit card interest rates were on the rise, 14, 20%, way higher than that right now. Now, what about car payments? Car payments have doubled over the last 3 years. The average car payment today is roughly about $800. 17% are actually over $1,000, and it's not unusual to see 6-year terms now. So people can have a lot more debt and they're paying through the nose for it, right? But at the same time, they have a lot more equity. The average loan to value is 42%. So what does this mean? That means they have 58% in equity. 58% in equity, that's a lot to draw off of in order to help put them in a better position to pay off some of this debt. But here's the problem, right? Today's market rate is higher than what it was a few years ago, right? So let's say they purchased their house 3 years ago and they got this really low rate, right? Well, we can take a look at this and we know home values have gone up, right? And the loan balance has gone down due to amortization. And that's if they bought their house 3 years ago, right? Now, what if they refinanced 3 years ago? Well, they have a lot more equity in their house because of the prior years. So the mortgage might have a 3-year term remaining. However, they've got a lot more equity because of the prior years that they owned it, right? So let's say they've got 27 years left, and because they refinanced it or they purchased it, 3 years ago. Well, let's say we propose, hey, we refinance, the rates today are 6.5%, and closing costs are roughly about $4,000, right? And your payment's going to go up $600 a month. Well, shoot, how does that even make sense? That doesn't make sense to me, right? Well, when you look at it, they're saying, hey, I don't want my payment going up. I'm comfortable right now making that payment, which they are. You can see 24%, front ratio. This is the front housing ratio. This is the back end ratio. This is the loan to value, and we're only using 56%. You can actually go up to roughly about 80%, right? So this is the white areas, all the equity that they have in their house. They're already making that payment. Well, let's look at the debts, and it's not uncommon to see roughly about $50,000 in credit card debt right now. And let's say, hey, let's pay off this debt, right? So now when you select it, that's almost $1,200 a month in this scenario. That's $25,000 in gross monthly income a year. So net after taxes is roughly about $1,100. That's huge. That's a huge savings you can take. And why not apply it and go to a 15-year term? Throw it towards principal, right? That's principal. Your house is paid off in less than 15 years. That's a $225,000 increase in net worth, right? So when you look at this, you've got a remaining term at a low rate of 3%, or you can go to a higher rate, but you paid off all your debt. You've only got your house. So after 5 years amortization gain, you got an extra $72,000 in amortization. 10 years, $179,000. And then of course in 14 years, 6 months, your house is paid off. You've got zero balance left on this loan. So when you really look at the numbers and say, hey, would you rather have a 30-year mortgage at 3%, and in 14 years, 6 months, you still owe $225,000, or a higher interest rate and you're paid off and you're debt-free in 14 years? We would love to go over this with you. Give us a call. Our contact information's in there. We can kind of go through and tailor, customize some of this stuff to your own needs. Looking forward to hearing from you.